Hey, girl.
Hey, girl,
Episode 569. Nice.
Oh, that is very appropriate for a lot of the stories I have to talk about today.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I got some good stories
Wow, we're
about...
hitting the ground running here.
Yes.
About
But before we even get into that,
naughtiness.
how's my Suze?
Oh, I'm real good, Sarah. I am. How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, she's back to turtlenecks.
It's turtleneck time.
Season.
I need a jingle for that. It's turtleneck time. And then
Feeling fine.
Yeah.
Turtleneck time.
God, I love a
You will
turtleneck.
be mine. Yes.
They're not for
my
everybody.
mom was listening to the podcast, and she was saying that it's ridiculous that I don't own a turtleneck, or I'm not familiar with turtlenecks, and like the reason why I don't like them is because I've never had to wear them. And
I
yeah,
actually didn't know
just-
you. Did you tell me you don't like them? Are they too constricting, did you say?
yeah, it feels
Yeah.
like I like them. I like a mock turtleneck, but like the full one makes me feel like I'm like
She loves them.
I only want to be choked if it's on purpose and consensual.
Turtlenecks just take liberties.
Yeah,
I know.
They're just all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood, turtleneck.
Yes, I'm very much into turtleneck time, but I'm not into why it's turtleneck time, which is that Arctic blast. I went out the other day and I was like, what the fuck? Is this a nor'easter blowing in here?
Oh my goodness.
What?
I'm currently in Colorado and I am experiencing some of that cold weather. And I was like, people in California, me, don't know how to wear sweaters when you go to other places because knit sweaters have holes in them. You gotta wear something underneath or else you're
It cannot be breathable.
it's like a net. It's like a fishing net that you just dressed yourself in, which does nothing to keep me warm. So yeah, I have one long sleeve shirt that I was able to find and pack for this, and then I put it on and put my sweater on over it. Walk outside, I'm like, oh my god, this is lovely. I love layers.
Oh my god,
these are great. I had learned about layers. Another thing I learned while I was here, I didn't realize this, and I couldn't even get it through my mind that I didn't have experience seeing this. I'm watching TV, and out the window, I'm in Colorado right now, I'm watching TV, and out of the corner of my eye, I keep seeing these things outside moving. And I'm like, what the heck? And Bo is equally as distracted. She keeps turning her head like, what is that? They were fucking leaves falling off of the tree. And I realized I have never really seen that where I live.
it lives up to its name.
It's beautiful. It was what I'm telling this guy, I'm like, okay, I know this is really ridiculous, but I cannot get over the leaves on the ground and falling off the trees and blowing everywhere, and they go in little swirls, and it looks so freaking cute. I feel like I'm in the Winnie the Pooh book here or something. It's a blustery day. I was all about it.
I think that
It's like novelty to me right now.
People in the influencer industry are obsessed with, pumpkin
Fall.
spice latte, all the fall stuff. But now you know why.
This is regular coffee, in case you're wondering what I'm sipping. It's not pumpkin spice, just
Is
for the
it?
record.
Wait, how do you order that? What do you say when you get it? Just straight up coffee?
Oh, no, this is it's a little different than that. It's an almond milk latte. But
Almond milk latte. Do you know the difference between a latte and regular coffee? Because I don't.
yeah, latte is espresso with milk, and a coffee is like beans in the water.
Wow,
and
I did not know that.
yeah. So, and then an Americano is a shot of espresso with water filled up the top.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is a lot of information. I'm glad I'm into tea. It's
That's why you
complicated.
drink tea.
Yeah, it's too complicated. I have anxiety just about a coffee
But then
order.
again, your British husband has a very specific way of making tea.
They're very serious about it.
Yes, he's like, don't bruise the bag. I know he was
bruise
joking
the
when he said
bag.
that, but it still cracks me up. And every time I make tea, I always think about that.
It's true. There's a lot of
Yeah.
specifics with that as well. What
Yeah.
you do and don't do with the tea. Anyway,
Right.
it's cozy
Any
time
poodles.
for you and me. 'Cause
Yes.
You're in Colorado right now.
I am having the time of my life out here, man. Riding tandem bikes all the time.
One of my friends reached out and was like, I saw her on Instagram with that tandem bike, but there was no one else. Is she just riding that thing solo
What if
now?
I was just solo taking the tandem bike out there, hoping that someday somebody would hop on the back?
Cruising
Bicycle
for a
built for
passenger.
two with only one. That would be like that
would be
feels
rock
like
bottom.
very on brand though for me. Like that's sad. That's like I don't know why, but sad song playing for Sarah.
We already shared
yeah.
this with our patrons who are watching it, but I think it's time we talk about our special treat for today.
We have to. I'm so excited.
It happened. All of our sort of promises we've kept, and we have
That's true.
confections.
Yes. We said in celebration of passing Law and Order episode numbers,
Yeah.
which I only jokingly said a long time
She
ago
only
that we would
dreamed
do.
of.
I only dreamed of. Never, not in my wildest, did I think that
wildest.
we would have more episodes than Olivia Benson.
Who knew?
We thought it would be appropriate, of course, to celebrate with some sugary treats, a cake.
Yeah.
And then we went to our Brain Candy Brainiacs for help in what to write on it,
Yep.
what to say. And, well, I decided.
Yes,
So-
you did. You did.
I want to say positive. SVU did it.
SVU
So now
did it. Sarah has
I went with a cookie cake.
a cookie cake, which I have not had one of those in about
Oh my
30
gosh!
years.
You know,
What a
we
treat.
do have some. We do have some delicious cookie sponsors this season.
Oh,
So
that's
I was
true.
like,
That's true.
Yeah.
Today, yeah, we'll celebrate that. And
Yes.
then I went with the classic grocery store sheet cake
Yes.
with balloons.
Love it.
I mean, is there anything better than like a cheap grocery store sheet cake? I don't think
I
so.
do love them. I do love them. But I tell you, every single time I see one, I get this incredible urge to smash my face in it. What is that about?
Sounds like something for Freud. I mean, that
Right.
is
I'm
weird.
like, why do I want to just like take this cake and
You
like,
do love like a pratfall,
yeah,
like slipping on the banana peels.
yes,
Yeah.
I do. Mm-hmm. We know this because the bunny ears. How I'm like the
God.
I am the photo evidence from my childhood showed that I was the bunny person who was putting bunny ears on everyone.
We all know that person.
Golly, it's me. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I'm totally the one who likes all that stuff.
Well,
and
I'm going to slice
it's fine.
mine.
Yeah, I'm going to slice mine
Because
too.
I have
Oh
been
my god, I'm so excited.
smelling this delicious vanilla wafting over for like an hour while Sarah and I talked about everybody we know.
Yeah.
Before
and
we
I'm like sitting in
started
front of a cookie that's the size of my freaking bigger than the size of my head. Do I cut through the letters?
I did the balloons. But
Okay,
you,
that's
you
what
make
I
your
was
own
like-
decision.
And then like I suppose when it's a cookie cake, you cut it like a pie, right?
I think so. Yeah, like the triangular.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
look at
this
that,
is
guys.
great.
I mean, is that not
Look at how
classic?
good that looks, Suze.
All that icing. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay, now look
Well-
at mine.
Let me see. Oh, it's nice and soft.
Yeah.
Sometimes they overbake those babies.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh yeah.
Happy birthday to us.
Oh. Happy birthday.
Law and Order has never.
No.
No.
I want to know what kind of cake Law and Order got for its 500th episode. What if they have one that was like, what's like brain candy like
Yeah, right. A lollipop.
they're like we have a sweet tooth too or something like that. Brain candy. We have the same number of episodes. Well, you better catch up, Law
I
and
would
Order.
love to start a
kicking your butt.
relationship with these people on that show.
Oh my god, it's great.
This could be ongoing. That is delicious.
Yes. Oh yeah, I love that kind of like cheapy frosting. That's
Well,
like
you know how like I'm not drinking or doing anything right now?
yes.
It hits different when you're sober.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
Like you're getting all the serotonin.
Hello,
like,
that's why the Mormons love sweets and treats.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Mm-hmm. This is very true.
They're onto something.
Yeah.
That's
What should I
delicious.
cut out?
What can I cut out?
Oh, I'm like,
I think you have a long list at this point.
I know. I'm like, I feel like I just keep adding things to the list. But, no, there's a lot that I don't do. It's only natural stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and acid.
I don't judge. Don't worry. And acid.
Just
and
that one time.
hallucinogens.
Yeah.
Did you think
That's
that
the
gif
fucking
I
best.
put up of you throwing the mushrooms was funny?
The fucking funniest thing ever. I'm like still laughing about that. The fact that I faked doing mushrooms is like the silliest thing in the whole world. And then-
Basically, our social media has just become like me trying to make Sarah laugh.
and it totally works. And then me just like making a ridiculous fool out of myself, like dancing to mariachi music, in the living room. Mm-hmm.
It's really symbiotic. It's a beautiful thing. Wait, before we go on, since I mentioned that I am sober, I should say that one of the first things I'm going to do when my sobriety period ends on December 1 is
who's counting?
Dad grass.
Hell yeah! I love mine. Oh, I need to re-up. Thanks for the reminder.
By the way, is that not the best stocking stuffer?
That's a fucking genius idea.
That's what
it's
I
even
thought.
a good secret, like, those gift exchange, like when you do the white elephant kind of things? Oh, come on. Because you're not giving anything that's illegal, but it looks illegal, which is hilarious. And then if you were even at an office party, that'd be fun. It feels naughty, but it's not, which is, is that not the best thing? You want it to feel naughty, but not be naughty? That is also a lot of the stories that I have today.
Dad grass, if you're not familiar, it's basically like joints from the 60s when like everything was just chilled out. There wasn't all this like crazy level of THC. It was just a touch, just to give you a little
brain
mellow.
melted, guys.
Yeah, and like the packaging is very retro and cute too. So that's another reason why it would be a good stocking stuffer.
Yes,
because they've really done a great job at making it like very cheeky and like wink wink. Dad grassy.
Yes.
So they're like old school joints, low in THC, high in CBD. So you just get real mellow and like chilled out, have a nice, easy night. They are 100% organic, pre-rolled joints, and you don't get stoned. Like I always say, you're not going to be on the kitchen floor with Cheetos, like calling 911.
No, not at all.
And it's federally legal for ages 21 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Even if you think my state won't allow that, it will. You're allowed.
That's so cool.
Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/braincandy. Go to dadgrass.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/braincandy. I can't wait to hear all these naughty stories you have cooked up.
Yeah, okay, I'll kick it off with one of those first.
Yeah. I'll eat my cake.
So this is yes, do. I love that hot pink icing too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it matches like your hair and your eyes, and like it just like goes with the look. Okay,
it's got like extra chemicals in it.
Remember when we talked about? I think this was a story you shared a long time ago. Well, now I know it when it was from 2018 because that's when this case started with the sex toy company Dame on the New York City subways.
Oh yeah, the advertising.
Remember how? Yeah, so there was a company called Dame that is a female-founded sex toy company, and they had advertising they were advertising with the New York subway, or what is that,
Metro.
MTA or Metro,
Mm-hmm.
and they were told to take all their advertising down, like they couldn't put it up because it was a violation of.
Yeah, they thought it was just like a moral issue where it was inappropriate.
It was considered inappropriate. Meanwhile, lewd. And meanwhile, there was ads for Viagra.
Right.
There were tons of stuff for male products.
Weren't the ads like, they were suggestive, but it wasn't like, here's my pussy. It was just like,
right.
Like a piece of fruit, like the inside of a papaya or something to symbolize.
I think I have some of the
vagina.
Of the things that they said in it.
And they were like euphemisms and double entendres and stuff. It was cute.
Yeah, and it was like
playful.
Great. They would say things like, "You come first."
Yeah.
COME. Not even spelled any differently than, And so these ads were rejected because they were considered sexually oriented business, and you're not allowed to advertise, I guess, on MTA property. Meanwhile, ads for erectile dysfunction, male libido kept running unhinged. So Dame was like, fuck off, we're going to sue you. So they brought a lawsuit, and they claimed that it was unconstitutional and infringed on free speech rights. That was, 2019 they did that. And just this week, it was decided that they won.
Absolutely,
and so
that's fantastic.
Thank goodness. And so the MTA was determined that they were disproportionately applying their anti-sexually oriented business clause to women's pleasure advertisements.
Wow.
Woohoo. Yes.
Well,
and
it's
so
like we've known all this all along, but like finally the legal system is like, yeah, we agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they spent $15,000 in changing the advertising. Even after they won, they changed the advertising. So I want to show you one of the ones that they have.
Okay. Are you going
I'll
to
show
share
you
your
this
screen?
one. Yes.
Okay.
I have it right here.
It feels like I'm growing flowers within me. Well, that's
They changed
nice.
it to make it even less like there's not even a suggestion
like that's
of even
grosser.
a sex toy. Right? I was like,
when
give me
it's
the
too
sex toys
literal,
out
I'm
here.
like,
Right.
but
I'm
yeah.
like, can you, like, who has a problem
Right.
with that? You're
That's
not
absurd.
even, it seems ridiculous. I'm like, that, so shout
thank
out
God.
to Dame for, I
These-
like hearing stories when it, like,
Yeah,
comes-
don't you feel like it's not usually the case, though, where justice is served?
not usually
Yeah.
the case at all, which is why I was so excited to talk about it. And then the other related article that I found, and this I cannot even frickin' believe was not a thing before.
You remind me of, did you see that GIF, I think, of that little girl with the bats, and she's like, friggin' bats, I love them.
Oh my God, my favorite one.
You remind
Freaking
me
bats.
of her.
I love
Go ahead,
Halloween.
sorry.
Yeah, it's freaking
I love
bats.
Halloween.
I love her so much. You know how many times that plays in my head? Anytime I see bats, I'm always like, it's freaking bats. I love Halloween.
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so in addition to there being, this push to allow for advertising of sex toy companies that are female-based, I was really happy to learn that there is now, and why the hell this didn't exist before, finally, design and safety requirements for sex toys. Yep.
What do you mean, finally?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that this was a thing we weren't testing for safety on.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. Okay, so this just like this month, this organization, the ISO, in International, what is it? International Organization for International Standards Organization. That's it. So now they have design and safety requirements for products in direct contact with genitalia, the anus, or both, and outline design requirements for things like butt plugs, vibrators, dildos, or anything that's intended for sexual stimulation or to enhance sexual pleasure. So before this, all sex toys fell into this gray area where they were considered novelty items. They got away with it because they would call them novelty items, so you wouldn't have to do any.
It wasn't like a medical device
testing.
or something.
Right.
Yeah.
These are things getting inserted mostly into females. And we're not like, as a sensitive gal, I have a big problem thinking that, like, no,
Wow.
like, it really does matter. So they were saying that in this article I read, they were saying, which I found in Vice magazine, and I will definitely send this one to Dahlia so we can put it in the newsletter because this is a great article. So the push for these standards came when a Swedish surgeon in Stockholm was like, I am spending so much time retrieving stuff out of people's buttholes. And so he conducted a study, and he found that in about 40% of cases where patients came into the hospital with something stuck inside there, it was a sex toy, and it was because the sex toy was improperly designed or in a way that wouldn't allow retrieval and things like that.
Oh, my God.
40% of cases.
Wow.
So it really is. That's like if everybody came in with a certain kind of injury from like riding a bicycle. It was like, well, shit, maybe we should wear helmets. Like, that's,
right. That's true. That took us too long also.
Right. Seatbelts, all those things. So here are some of the standards that are now in place. Mm-hmm. Well, first I should say they also said in this article, if you ever open up a sex toy and it has that chemically plastic smell, bad news bears, toxic material, it should not smell like that. No go, don't put that in there.
Okay.
That just freaks me out to think about what could be on there. Okay, so here are the new rules. Mm-hmm. Making sure plugs, beads, or anything that goes up the butthole can't stay up there or could be retrieved by a medical professional if needed. Things like chastity cages and cock rings can be removed with pliers or other common household tools in an emergency, no power tools needed.
Oh my God.
Which
that
then
is
makes you think,
bare
how
minimum.
many you know when they like say don't iron your clothes while you're wearing them because you know one fucking dumbass thought that was a good idea? This is definitely a situation where they're like, okay, make sure you put a clause in there, or make sure you add something about no power tools, because remember that one time Joe came in and he cut it right off? We don't want that happening
Ruining
again.
it for everyone.
Golly. Yeah, one guy ruins it for everyone. Oh, I apologize for the cringing that anybody with genitalia is doing right now in listening to this, because just thinking about that. No power tools needed. Hilarious. But also important. Okay. Then toys with heating elements must never exceed 118 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature that would cause a first-degree burn.
Sarah!
Again, what's happening? Before.
Right. What were people doing with like the friggin' easy bake ovens or whatever?
Right. What are we doing? And then anything that goes around or in any holes or genitals should be smooth and free from burrs and sharp edges.
Burrs. No.
Burrs.
No.
And they also made sure that there are rules around packaging, making it biocompatible materials and cleaning instructions and risk assessment protocols. These seem very important.
I would agree with you. Unbelievable that this was not happening. Let's talk about, though, something sexually that is far more pleasing, which is Dipsy stories.
There you go.
Let's do a reset.
Let's do a nice reset.
Okay.
Yes.
Dipsy Stories is a wonderful app that will...
Always safe.
Always safe and will not burn you.
ISO compatible.
Burner free.
Burner free.
And you can take a quiz and say what kind of erotica or romance or sexuality gets your motor running, and then they'll give you some suggestions on stories that might help you get in the mood or help you handle your business on your own, or maybe even soothe you to sleep, and then you'll have really sweet dreams.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's especially great for ladies who it can be difficult sometimes to find that kind of content that isn't made for men.
Right.
So you can explore
and who even
your
wants
fantasies.
to go searching for that stuff, because it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Just get the app. It's so nice.
Safe, shame-free, really fun. For listeners of the show, Dipsy's offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/braincandy. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/braincandy, dipsystories.com/braincandy.
Yes.
All right.
Guess what? I meant ISO compliant. Not compatible, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is my update on some...
Those are good updates, but...
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe that this wasn't going on before.
I do love... I feel like there are always around Valentine's Day, the stories about what goes up bums gets, like, they come out.
They ramp those up.
I do like a good... Well, you know how we do on the podcast.
Do you think that the... changes that were, and this is legislation that you're saying was passed?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's ISO, they even have a number, 3533. Now, why they didn't do 6969 is beyond me.
It's a missed opportunity.
I mean, come on. Yeah, really missed opportunity.
Do you think
or
this
like,
was...
how did you spell sex on a calculator? Remember, like,
was
that like one you... Or boobs.
Boobless.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be so funny. 8008 13.
We're children.
5. We're children. That's fine.
Well,
basically, yeah.
I know that they probably had been sued a lot because if people are getting these things stuck up their bodies. But, like, did it say in the article sort of what inspired the legislation? Was there, like, an incident?
Well, it was just that doctor with the multiple. He was, like, fed up. He was like, I gotta... this is, like, ridiculous. He didn't want to root around in people's beeholes anymore. Yeah. He was the one who, like, put forward the study. And once the study was conducted, then he was able to use that
Good for
as
him.
as
That's real nice
really
of him.
doing the Lord's work out there.
Yeah,
you know?
for
Just
real.
like... as
we salute you.
Sensitive lady, I really appreciate it, and I need those kind of regulations.
Have you ever had a mishap? I mean, I know not severe, but have you ever had one where you're like, whoa?
Oh my God. Okay, I'll admit this. I
knew
don't even
there'd
care.
be a story. This is what I love about her.
This is so terrible. I don't even care. Whatever.
This calls for another bite of cake. ahead.
Yeah, this story does go well with cake, with the sweet, delicious confectionery item or whatever that word is. Confectionery? What's the word? Confectionery. I was way off. I played Scrabble last night, and so like I'm just like throwing out like a bunch of like I'm like, is this a word? Yeah, I'm like I was like, yeah. So okay, so when I must have been like 16 or 17, maybe 18, and my grandma had given me a back massager that was like legit like an old school back massager you plugged in to the wall. This thing was definitely like 50 years old.
Okay.
I might have not used that on my back.
For its intended purpose.
And then I got electrocuted by it.
You did?
Yes, I did!
I am so glad
it was a minor
asked.
shock, but I know. I really do have a story for everything. I wish that weren't a story that was real. But
Where
I
did
definitely
it
like
do it on
like,
your flaps?
Like I think I felt it more like on my leg. It was like on my leg or something because it was like where the plug plugged in, where the cord connected to the back of it.
Yeah,
you know, it like shorted because like that cord had been like you know what happens to like. I mean, I use my Apple iPhone chargers do that after 2 months. This thing was like 50 years old. So shout out to that cord for holding me up as long as it did. But yeah, I was dead. And I was like,
you were asking
okay,
for
time
it.
to buy the real thing because
that's what it made you think. Because for like evangelicals, they would say, well, that's the Lord telling you not to be doing that in the first place.
That was the Lord telling me to get
the right
get better material,
for
to
the
get better
job.
equipment. Yeah. I was like, no. I just need more tools.
Did it leave a mark?
No, it was so minor. It was like just one of those like, you know, like
it was a little nudge.
And then, yeah.
Sarah, it's time.
I wonder if at the time I thought like, this is punishment for something. Didn't stop me, but.
Right, it never does. That's what they don't
Do you
get.
remember the first time you did that? Did a little.
With a toy? I've never done that.
Susie, really?
I think it would be too much because I must be more sensitive than you.
I'm like sensitive in a different way. You're like stimulation sensitive.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. I will say after
I
using a different kind, after switching it up to a different kind, that's one of the more like, it's like gentle. I do find that I am more sensitive, it takes less.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know they say that like isn't a thing, or that maybe like I don't know, but
do they say that it isn't?
I don't know. I think it goes back. I hear both. Sometimes I'm like, I hear like, oh no, it's not a thing, and then I hear like, oh yeah, it is a thing.
Yeah. Well,
I still don't know.
I wouldn't want to do it. I don't even have a desire to give it a whirl. But yeah, I think it's great for people who enjoy that.
It's funny that you say give it a whirl because that's like the exact move that my little thing does. Like,
oh my God.
Around that. It's really funny. My personal favorite toy that I use, I bought, or I should say, my friend bought. I was on a trip with some girlfriends, and one of them said, "You guys have to read this review for a sex toy because it's one of the funniest things I've ever read in my entire life." I was like going in with low expectations of how funny this could be.
Right.
I had never laughed harder. It was so hilarious. We were all cracking up, and my one friend was like, "I'm ordering multiple right now. Who wants one?"
So it was a rave review.
Yes, it was a rave review, and then she ordered them for like all of us there, and it like showed up at my house the next day.
And it is your favorite?
Oh my God, it is my favorite.
Wow, we need to work with these people.
I know. Oh my God, we definitely should. That would be fucking amazing.
Get some free merch for you.
Hello, I'll take Susie's.
Yeah,
I guarantee these guys are meeting all of the requirements because they are good.
Right on the
I'm
money.
going to find out.
Wow.
Yes, right on the money. That's it.
Gosh.
Yeah. So I'm
glad you've recovered
one of the
disaster.
selling points, or one of the lines that really did it for me was. Something along the lines of your legs are going to be like those fainting goats, you know, when the goats fall over and your legs just go up in the air like straight. And then they were like, make sure you stretch before you use this because you're gonna be feeling it like it's like an earthquake.
Good to know.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, they were not wrong.
I do think people
really
that
funny.
leave reviews for anything are just like public servants. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. I did once. I left a review. Well, no, I didn't. My ex-husband left a review on my Yelp account for a pool company.
Oh,
it's the most. It's so popular. It's a very popular review. I get credit all the time. They're writing me saying, "Thank you so much for this." I'm like, I didn't do it, but okay, yeah.
They're like, because it was thankful.
Like, yeah, heads up, like these guys are not good.
Because I'm never going to leave a review. Like, I don't have time for that. But thank you to all of you that do the work.
Yeah. I don't know if I would ever leave a review. Have I left a review?
I would probably leave one for Third Love.
Oh, for sure.
Because that'd be 5 stars. Highly recommend.
Highly recommended. Oh, I bet they have really cute colors coming out for the holidays. I want that emerald green.
I just posted on our Instagram. I looked at their holiday gift guide, and it was adorable.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just needed new...
and don't they have those sets?
Yeah, they had all kinds of, like, cute, wintry holiday things that were, like, what you would want for a gift or to give somebody. Yeah.
What do you need?
I needed new jammy bottoms, like little boy shorts.
Yeah. Jammy bottoms. I love shorts.
Because, like, you know how we wear jammy sets? But then, like, sometimes they get hot in there, and I need to be able to strip. I got to layer. So that's what I was ordering.
Let those tatas fly.
Yes. They have... The bras are obviously their signature item because they have every size imaginable, and they fit perfectly and are very comfortable. But... they also, like I said, have loungewear and undies and all kinds of really great stuff, and they are great for gifts. So go get Grandma some new Gucci's.
Oh my gosh, she probably needs them. And Mom, and your aunties.
Probably needs them.
Yep.
All of the people in your life who could use them, it is time. Feeling is believing. Upgrade to everyday pieces that love your body as much as you do. Right now, you can get 20% off your first order at thirdlove.com/brain. That's 20% off at thirdlove.com/brain.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Okay, I have an interesting question to ask you that I read. This is another article I saw in Vice. And it was titled, "Should Non-Jews Play Jews on Screen?"
I've been thinking a lot about this.
Okay, tell me your thoughts.
Well, I was watching Sarah Silverman talk about it.
Yeah.
And she called it Jew face. She was referring to whoever it is they cast to play Joan Rivers. And she was saying, like, Joan Rivers is a very Jewy Jew. It's not just that she's Jewish. She is she's sort of the prototype. Mm-hmm. And she was like, it's kind of gross that they didn't cast a Jewish lady. I see the point.
I do too.
Yeah. Especially because there's no shortage of Jewish actresses or actors.
Right.
I mean, there are plenty.
And then I was reading the list of the non-Jewish actors in the role, and like
Moses.
Like the talented Mrs. Mabel and like a lot of those characters. I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know that they weren't, and it really kind of makes sense that you would want that.
Then I heard an interview, and I think it was with Aaron Sorkin, and he was saying Jewish, or I don't know if he even specifically said Jewishness, but he was saying like this is not important because you can't act a noun. That is what his argument was. I mean...
You can't act a noun.
He was basically saying, like, that's not a thing.
But it is.
Anybody should be able to play a type of person. It's not like... You're playing, like, their traits, not their...
Right.
Ethnicity or whatever. But, I mean, that seems like a stretch. And he's a white man.
We have to play, like, where's the... Of course. Right. We have to play, like, where's the line? Like... Mm-hmm. You know,
they might make the argument, why wouldn't I just cast the best actor for the part?
Yeah, but what if we were a trans character?
And that's happened. What's that show with that guy, Jeffrey Tambor, whatever his name is?
Right.
And he's not trans. And
that
didn't end well. He got Me Too'd.
It didn't. It did. Oh, right. It didn't. And that, I feel like there was pushback for that too. Right?
Yeah, there was.
Right.
But now it's growing because now it feels even more gross when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But so what would you say to that argument that, like, it shouldn't matter, that an actor can play anything? That's the essence of what acting is. I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just saying that would be their argument.
I mean, it almost feels like... is it weird to say give priority? I don't know. I just feel like somebody who's Jewish would play somebody who's Jewish better.
Yeah, it seems
somebody who's trans would play a trans character probably better because they actually know. Like, I want them to say like Yiddish words like their Bubba said it, or Bubby, or
if it didn't matter, then we would cast women playing men's roles and vice versa. It just does matter.
Exactly, that does matter.
So why wouldn't that extend to other identities?
Yeah.
So for me, that's like, well, it's an easy fix. There's plenty of people available to hire. Why not do that?
Right.
I don't see the downside.
I don't see the downside either.
Okay, I'm glad we agree.
I'm with you. Yeah. And I'm glad that I think it's you got to like look at all the different groups that it's that where's the line thing. If you're going to have this kind of feeling over here, then it needs to be over here too. And like Sarah Silverman feeling like, I think that is really, I agree. And I would be like, what?
Well, I would even extend this to the way we hire like someone like Charlize Theron to play Aileen Varnos and then clap because she was so, quote, brave to make herself look uglier than she is.
Right.
Why don't we just hire someone that sort of looks like Aileen?
Right. You know, I was just having this conversation like yesterday. I was watching some movie. Oh, a great movie that you would love. It's with Elijah Wood, and he plays the FBI when they first started criminal profiling. And he plays the FBI agent that interviewed Ted Bundy, and it's all, I get goosebumps, look. It's all based on his real tapes, and in the opening, it said everything you see is based on the recordings and the tape recordings and interviews, the transcripts. Susie, you will love it. And I was telling the guy I'm dating, I was like, hey, did you know my co-host writes to serial killers?
I don't think that's something we should brag about.
First of all, I was like, she's pen pals with them. I'm like, wait, let me actually add more to that. That it's not just pen. Like, I don't mean like she's writing for fun. Like, there's work going in. There's like, this is for research. This is.
Yes,
but you would love that movie. So I can't remember what it's called. What's it called?
When you watched it, what did you think of Ted? Like his.
Oh, I thought he was great. I thought the character who played him. I thought this movie. It's easy in my top 5 of this year. I really, really loved it.
Okay.
And I thought they did a really good job explaining, in a way, how a serial killer becomes a serial killer. And like what did
they sort of conclude? That was it shame or?
Well, it's really interesting that Ted Bundy is saying, he asks the interviewer, the FBI guy, he says, do you think you could kill someone? And he goes, nope, I don't have it in me. I couldn't do that. He goes, that's not what I asked. He's like, I'm a good man. I would never. He's like, that's not what I asked. Do you think you could kill someone and whatever? And then he finally answers and he's like, yeah, I actually do. I think I would know. I think I could. I would know how to do it and I would know how to get away with it. And I would know how to cover it up and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, do you think you're crazy? And he's like, no. So that's like Ted Bundy's like, he's like, every thought, he said, because the FBI detective is talking to Ted Bundy to try to help him learn about other serial killers and their cases. So it's like the Green River, or Green
There's a Green River killer.
Mm-hmm. Green River killer that was in Northern California. So this detective is trying to profile the Green River killer and using Ted Bundy to help him.
Would be,
And so they're doing a lot of like just talking about like what, like makes somebody that way, what type of person. And he's saying that every thought that killer had, I guarantee you've had too. And that it's like we just don't act on the urges and like what.
That is what I'm trying to get people to see.
Oh, and that's why I was like, Susie has to see this. It's everything that you were talking about.
Yeah, I got to see that for sure.
Yeah. And since this is a guy I like just started dating, I can't like talk during movies because like that's super annoying and people hate that.
Out.
So Right. I was like, I try so hard to like not talk. I told him, I was like, you have no idea how many comments I censored during that movie. Like so many. Like, and you're lucky I'm medicated, because unmedicated Sarah would have been like the whole movie talking. I'm awful to watch a movie with. And so I was, yeah.
I mean,
as soon as the movie ended, I was like, blah, 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 I had so much to say.
That's why our Patreons, where we used to do the live Q&As and watch the show, was just perfect for you. Because
I get to talk through the show the whole time.
That's right.
It's basically what you want me to do, is talk over the TV.
Yes.
God, I'm the worst.
No, I just don't know how you do it, because I'm like in the zone. Like I go into this little bubble in my head, and you're more like interactive.
Yeah. There's a bubble. It just also has eaten up all the other people in the room, and I feel like they need to also be in it and know what's going on in my head. They don't.
You know, I feel like Noom knows what's going on in my head.
They do, and they can help clear up maybe what's going on in your head and get things a little more straight for you.
Have you guys tried Noom yet? Because I know a lot of our brainiacs have, and have had great luck with it in terms of maybe living a healthier lifestyle or reaching their goal weight, or maybe just holding them accountable, because it's an app that, you know, uses cognitive behavioral approach to change your behavior in whatever way you wish. So you learn about like the psychology of eating and all this stuff that helps you understand how the heck your mind works. Yeah. It's like that movie
Increases
Sarah
awareness.
watched, but about eating and other behaviors.
Yeah. Yes.
And it will help you change your habits. And 75% of Noom users finish the program, so they have a really good rate of retainment, which is encouraging. Just like 10 minutes a day, fits into your life, no big whoop. Start building better habits for healthier long-term results. Sign up for your trial at Noom.com/braincandy. That's NOOM.com/braincandy.
You know what it really helps me with? Drinking more water.
You have always had that issue.
Yeah, and it's amazing what once... You know how we talk about, like, the rising tide floats all ships kind of thing? Mm-hmm. And, like, if you're able to improve in one area, then you just naturally...
It snowballs.
It does snowball. And so I found that once I got that, like, on a more regular, consistent routine, it was like my cue, as we learned in so many of those habit kind of, you know, books, that it was my cue to take care of myself in other ways.
One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was... practical advice was never procrastinate something that you can complete in 2 minutes or less. You would not believe how many things we procrastinate that you could finish in 2 minutes or under.
Absolutely. There's a woman that I follow. I think her name's like Charlene Johnson or something like that. She's an ADHD, like really outspoken ADHD advocate, and she used to be like a fitness like guru lady or something like that, but now she does a lot of like advocacy for ADHD, like adult ADHD. And she says, take 5 seconds or 5 extra steps. And the 5 extra steps has helped me a lot.
Tell me
because
what
once
that
you start
means.
taking 5, so like if I'm holding my dirty clothes and I just want to like throw them on the bed, I just take 5 extra steps and I put them in the hamper. And it really is all it is like
same idea.
Just having that 1 second of awareness to go, or like 5 seconds. I'm like holding it and I'm like, there's the instinct to switch to the next job without finishing one, like abandon ship. Yeah. And so it really has helped me to tie up, like,
complete the
especially
task.
with like putting dishes away, like moving dishes from
Sarah, that's actually really
my sink.
helpful to me, because you know how Lincoln has ADHD.
Yeah.
And
he would love this one.
You can't tell you how often I have to say, finish the job. Just finish the job. But I don't think about it like you guys. So to me, it's just like, what are you doing?
It to us, it's also like, what are you doing? But we just know it. We just can't stop it. But that 5 extra steps has been, because once you start taking 5, if it's 15 steps away, you're not going to stop in the middle of your path, and you know. Just start. It's that forward momentum to keep you focused on whatever the task at hand is. And I found that to be pretty helpful.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just the smallest little things that can add up. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of those adult ADHD like workaround tricks. Like I've rearranged my refrigerator to be ADHD friendly.
What does that mean?
So you know how most people would where would you put the condiments?
In the door.
Yep, I do not do that.
What are you doing?
The very first thing when you open your refrigerator, you see the door. You see what's there. If I need a condiment, I'm gonna dig for it. If I need ketchup, I'm gonna go looking for ketchup. But what happens is I tend to, whatever's in front of my eyes is what I can focus on. It's like, what is it? Object permanence. I have a problem with object permanence. Like if it's not right in front of me, it like doesn't fucking exist to me. And so if I put food that is not healthy, or I put food that's more like snackable food or whatever, quick grab food in my visual eyeline, I am going to grab that every single time I open the fridge. So I saw a TikTok where this woman was like, here's how you rearrange your fridge to make it ADHD friendly. And she said, when in your door, put all of your vegetables and produce. So when I open my door, I have my like little glasses, little mason jars that have like cilantro and carrots. You know, you put carrots in water and they stay fresh and everything. And so I have like the little jars. So when I open my fridge, and it has the salad bags like staring at me, it has totally changed my eating habits, and it makes it so I don't grab. And also when I'm hungry, you're
should
like,
hire you,
right? Hey, yeah,
go ahead.
And so like when I'm hungry, you grab like, and your brain is going to go for the thing that's the most calorie dense, like the most packs the most punch. That's not necessarily the best for you, but it's just like, yeah, have that burger over there, have that, have those chips or whatevs. So I'm like, my brain tells me to grab that. But if it can't see that, and it instead opens it up and it sees like my produce and some fruit. I ate an entire box of raspberries just like standing in my refrigerator trying to decide what I was going to eat.
No.
If that has been chocolate chips I've been eating before, because that is what was in the, like visible in my pantry.
Wow.
And so I just switched that up, and then I put the condiments in the drawer, or in its own little like container, one of those like plastic bins at the back of the fridge.
Right.
And then I put like all of the good like drinks, like all my probiotic drinks and everything, like right as soon as you open the drawer. So that's like what I grab. I'm more hydrated. The water is right there when I see it.
That's good.
So
I love a system.
Right? Oh,
yeah.
You love a system. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this one's like ultimate system for... And it looks really nice when you open your fridge and like the door is full of produce.
And it just feels better then too.
It feels better. So that's my little like extra piece of advice that
we do get messages from listeners who didn't know they had ADHD, and then when you describe it, they're like, "That's what I feel like," and then they went and got diagnosed.
Well, I'm so glad.
Yeah,
because it really is hard. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, I was like, it feels like. Before I got a diagnosis, it was like anxiety and depression. You're anxious because you feel like you have 1,000 things to do, but you don't know where to start. And then you're depressed when you're like, no, you didn't accomplish all those things because your mind's too busy to be able to decide which one you want to accomplish first. As soon as I started taking medication regularly, both of those things went away. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I just have that weird, that feeling when you like feel like you're in trouble for something, or you feel like you did something like, and it's like that, oh, it's awful. It feels like this like cloud that's just like, or weight that's just like you're like wearing this vest of guilt. And,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like heavy on you. And that just like, it's like the sky parts and like goes away when everything's all balanced in there.
People are really
thank
having
goodness.
an impact.
Yeah, and I didn't get diagnosed until I was like 32.
What did you think was with you?
I didn't know there was anything wrong. I just thought I was like, I don't know, eccentric or whatever.
Well, that's true
and then
too.
like you look at me and my family, I'm like well, Lucas is a little quieter than me, but like, when you compare like me to my mom,
yes,
I'm like
you
chill.
seem like real calm. Well,
yeah.
I was cracking up because last week Sarah did for our Patreon, she read her Brooklyn real world diary. She'll do that every once in a while, like a page from her diary. And like, it was so funny to watch because, you're reading how old were you?
21.
You're reading the voice of 21-year-old Sarah, but then she would, after each line, sort of like comment as her current self. And how you were like, oh boy, you don't know what's in for, what you're in for or whatever. But it's so weird to hear those two voices because they're totally different. That's true for everyone, but not many people get that opportunity to sort of side by side compare them.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's why I feel like people should always keep, I think keeping a journal and having, even if you're not writing that much in it, like it doesn't I had a friend give me this, it's like a daily, it was like a daily, like once a day for 3 years. And each, it has 365 pages, and then year 1, 2, 3. So you write something every day, just like what happened, or a little blurb. And for a long time, I was doing 3 things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Every day. And then you can go back and like you keep using it and you look over the years. So you just like a little blurb, even if you don't do it every day, even if you just to have a little something to write down so you can hear the voice like later. I think it's really important to see how far we've come. Like, you know, it's like I often with clients will say, because it's hard for people to recognize change when it happens slow. You know, I'll say it's kind of like your hair growing. Yeah. You don't notice like, oh, my hair's 1 millimeter longer today. But then there's a time after, you know, a few months where you're like, holy shit, I need a haircut. This stuff is long. And it feels like overnight it just, you know, you notice. And that's kind of how a lot of that change, I think, happens, where we need that some time.
The comparison.
Yeah.
One of the things from the journal, though, that cracked me up was how you said, like, even before, this was during filming, so this was before the show aired, you were already irritated with how, like, some of the cast members enjoyed the fame more than you thought was appropriate.
Yes, because Chet was getting autographs before we had even been on air.
And, like, it grossed you out even then.
Yes.
That you were like, okay, Jen Aniston, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, what the fuck are we doing here? This is so stupid. Like,
it is noticeable, like, when you are with the cast who's sort of, like, really into that part of it.
Yeah. I also think that's a little bit of that is just growing up in L.A. and then somebody growing up in, like, Utah, a place where, like, that celebrity is like, wow, that's, like, really big.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was on set with my mom and, like, do you remember
you
that
were babysitting Darth Vader.
Correct. I babysat Darth Vader like that, and I didn't ask him for his autograph, so we're good.
Right,
you know?
Right.
Yeah. Do you remember that music video, "Voices That Care"? The song that was the. Okay, so it was basically like there was some war that a bunch of celebrities were. Was it the Gulf War? Maybe.
Okay.
But it was like in 1991 or so, and it was. Oh my God, the song is so good. I know you've heard it. Lonely tears light up the sky.
Never.
Can't help but wonder why.
No.
You're so far away.
Wow.
Yeah, and Will Smith, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, like it's everybody. Kevin Costner
all the
was
greats.
in it. Everybody who was a celebrity. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's pictures of me like I'm like in the stroller, like on set.
No.
As this is like,
okay,
yeah,
that's super
like,
cool, actually.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so
I would not be
so
chill
it was
about
kind of
that.
like what we. I mean, also I was like 4, so it was hard for me to be like Kevin Costner, what? You know, like,
Right.
didn't really care. Didn't see Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
at the time.
I do think that there is some leeway if that's your first exposure with fame, as it was for me or Chet or whatever, where this is like so exciting and glitzy.
Yeah, I have to see who else was in that. Voices That Care.
Yeah, it's like the poor man's USA for Africa.
Yeah, Celine Dion.
Wow.
It was like Wayne Gretzky, Kenny Rogers, Meryl Streep, Kevin Costner. Yeah, that's all the same. I said his name like 5 times.
You were in the room with them, Sarah. Mm-hmm. Wonder if they remember you.
So, it was for Desert Storm.
My God, how weird.
Operation Desert Storm in 1991. Yep.
Didn't we just
Voices
wrap
That
that
Care.
up? That song didn't work.
Bobby Brown. Oh, who knew it was? I met Bobby Brown twice. That's what I should have led with. Damn it! I should have gone with that story instead of. I should have been like, hey, remember that video you did for Voices That Care? I was a kid on set. Rather than, hey, remember your wife who you're definitely cheating on right now? God,
Sarah,
I wonder what episode I told
Bobby
that story.
That's why I need to retell it. Sarah, her middle name is Whitney, even though I pretend like it's Louise. And she saw Bobby Brown, and that was what her opener was. Like, hey, guess what?
fuck,
My
Sarah?
middle name is Whitney.
Like, what a stupid fucking thing. As he's hitting on my friend, buying her a drink, and then, like, he looks at me like, do I have to fucking buy this chick one too?
There's
he
always
did
like
not.
a weird friend.
Yeah, I'm always the weird friend doing like it's ridiculous.
Let me tell you a story.
I've
One
always
time-
said I'm always like the Robin to somebody else's Batman, which is like totally fine.
Do you
Because I'm just
remember-
like being ridiculous all the time.
Remember that
Always the
song?
bridesmaid, never the bride.
There's a band called Fastball, and they had a song,
yeah.
Out of My Head. I was out of my head. I was
head
out of
was
my
out of
mind.
my mind.
They had a couple
How could
hits,
I
whatever.
ever be
I love
so-
them. I went to their concert, and then I went in the back, you know, in the tour bus.
Oh, Susie.
Like, the security guard came over and was like, hey, you want to go? I wish you guys were watching this on Patreon. Sarah is doing BJ, like, mime. Right? Pantomime. So the security guard was like, hey, you want to come in the tour bus? I'm like, yeah, I do. And so I went in the tour bus, and I started making out with one of the guys in the band.
Oh my God!
It was great.
I was kidding with my BJ.
There was no
but maybe
beach.
not. Okay, no beach. Okay, got it. Just strictly tongue.
But my friend Katie was with me, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, my friend's out there. Like, I can't just leave her in there. He was like, there's always a friend. There's
Oh
always
my
some
God.
loser friend who, like, cockblocks, basically.
He said that?
Yeah, he did.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
How come Katie wasn't on there, like, you know, making out with the...
Well, Katie's more like that girl in Clueless that we were just talking about.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like, just
so
sorta-
like me.
Well,
I would have been that. I'd been like,
well maybe at
I'll
that
hold
time.
your bags, guys. While you're like, I'm not even fucking kidding. I have definitely been the friend who's like, hey, we're gonna go in here and like hook up. You
dying.
basically stay out there, and like I was probably doing a fucking crossword puzzle in the living room. Well, that seems about right
For me, the makeout was inconsequential, but I did get to sing Oasis's She's Electric with him, and that was way more fun
Oh
for me.
my God, Susie!
Because that's like a moment. I get to harmonize with an actual musician.
You do have a knack for ending up on stage or somewhere in like
knack.
with musicians like
I do.
you know.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like, hey,
hey,
that
where there's a
one,
will,
come
you know
up.
what I mean? But Miles Zuniga, if you're out there, I've never forgotten you. Those sweet, tender lips.
Were they? How old was
Yeah.
he and how old were you?
I was 18.
Oh,
But he was probably, he was probably, God, I hope he wasn't too old. He had to
It
be in his
doesn't matter.
20s, right?
I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. God. Let's wind it down. This went ugly.
Oh man.
Well, we
that's
had
funny.
cake. That's
We
one
had
thing.
cake and ate it too.
That's a good one. Good one, Sarah.
I know. I've been taking little frosting, like little fingerfuls.
Are you sure?
Here
I
and
feel
there.
like you're not eating enough.
Oh no! I mean, come on. When I got dildo stories to talk to you about, I can't have like a mouthful of frosting. That looks inappropriate.
Squats, can you make that into a thing? Please.
Oh my God, it's too funny.
We talked about...
Well, we talked about the Dame, the sex toy company, and how they are now able. Thank goodness they won.
Yeah, and also they're
MTA. They
doing
get to advertise
safer,
on there.
Safer toys.
Yep, we're making sex toys safer with 3533 ISO legislation or whatevs.
We've totally gone off the rails. We talked about Jew face.
I'm high
serial
on
killers.
frosting.
I know. I really am too. It's so good. Best advice you ever got? I want to know about that. I'm going to put that on Instagram. I want to know what the best advice
you ever. That's great.
I saw a clip of
What is the
who
best
the hell
advice?
was? Oh, it was Kirstie Alley saying the best advice she ever got was from her dad. He said, "If you tell the truth, you'll be happier." And Barbara Walters said, "Well," and Kirstie said, "He was right." I like that. Although I don't
If you
like
tell
her
the truth,
right
you'll
now.
be happier.
Like, be a truthful person in general.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Truth.
I mean, it seems obvious,
that's
but
100% happier. It's amazing. Ugh. And I always think about that. Like people, like I can't lie because it seems like keeping up the lie or remembering what you said.
that is funny
It's
about
so
you.
difficult.
That, like,
I don't know. I can't. I panic. I'm like, nope. We're just going with the truth. Sometimes too much of it is fine. Yeah.
we
What
did
else
a lot.
talk
I don't
about?
know. We did other things on here, but whatever.
I am excited to hear people talk about ADHD refrigerators.
I can't wait to see a picture of yours.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely show you that.
Yeah.
It's empty right now.
Because that will inspire a lot of people. People probably never thought of any of that.
I think I actually did take a picture of it in knowing that this would be a subject I would talk about. I do that sometimes. I'm like, I think I might have done this.
Because it's very obvious, like, what will probably end up.
I'm like, so I'm going to probably talk about this tandem bicycle picture. Yeah.
All right, people. Thank you for allowing us to surpass Law and Order in episode numbers. It's because of you, and I hope you keep listening because I don't want to get a job.
Me either. I mean, aren't we calling this a job? Because I am.
A different job, I should say.
Okay, got it. I was like, this is going on the resume, Susie.
Okay, I almost forgot that today is Monday, but we will not have a show on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. That was my turkey impression.
So be sure to be thankful. We're thankful for you.
Oh, so thankful for you guys.
Sure.
I'm so thankful for all of our Brain Candy family.
And I'm thankful for Sarah.
I'm thankful
and
for
Zoom.
you.
And
the best. Just like consistent internet recently. Stable Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's so much to be thankful for. We hope you have a blessed holiday. And we'll see you next Monday.
Yes.
Bye.
For more craziness. Bye.